Hello and welcome. My name is Victoria Jones, and I am a certified lash educator. And I've been working really hard on this brand new lash certification and business mentorship program called the Lashpreneur Method. So today I want to give you all a little sneak peek about one of my lessons. It's actually from the fourth week, which is marketing week. And we're going to go over the importance of client experience. Okay, so what the Lashpreneur method is, first of all, it is I've designed 30 days of lessons for anybody who wants to go from not knowing anything about lashes to launching your own business in 30 days. Okay, so we start on January 4th for the first the first round of students. I'm offering, I have 4 more spots available for my 50% off founding members positions. So if you want to get in on that, you can connect with me. Send me a private message, however you're seeing this video, or in the comments here, type in Lash Pro and I will get back to you. Okay, I want to see you in there. Week 1 is about becoming a lash artist. So this is where you're going to learn the fundamentals to get you ready for your hands-on training. Week 2 is actually when we put our tweezers in our hands and we get to work on. I have practice modules that you're going to go through, and you are going to invite some really close friends and your family in to be your models. Week 3 is about branding your business. So we are going to come up with a name and some visual colors and everything. And then week 4 is marketing, where we're actually going to get you booked and busy. Okay. And then after we are done the program, then you will join my alumni group and continue with your mentorship with me and stay in touch with me and grow your business. So today, let's go on here and I'm going to open up my slides. How do we do that? Here it is. Okay. So yeah, don't mind me. This is actually my first time doing a live video on YouTube. I usually do them on Facebook, but Facebook is changing all the rules as to how live videos get done now. So it's too confusing. So I'm just relearning this, so just bear with me. So this is actually going to be the day 27. Okay, of course, there's going to be some modules that follow this for the day to kind of help get you through everything. So the agenda is going to be about client experience. Okay, so we're going to talk about first impressions. We're going to go over your lashing environment, professional boundaries and standards, and how important that follow-up is. Okay, so why client experience matters is that it is going to increase your client retention. Okay, repeat clients equal stable income. Okay, so we rely on our clients to be putting that money in our pockets so that we can put food on our tables, right? Clients refer friends when they feel valued. Okay, they're not going to refer a friend or a family member to you if they don't feel comfortable in your service area. This is a service where their eyes are closed the whole time. So having them feel really comfortable and relaxed is key. It's going to make you stand out from other lash artists. Okay, it's going to help you build your reputation, reviews, and your online presence. Okay, so people do pay more money for exceptional service. Great client experience turns a one-time appointment into a long-term client relationship. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to just pop them in the comments there and I will get to them at the end. So first impressions start online. Before a client walks away, before a client walks in, they actually experience your brand online. So being online is the new storefront. Okay, so you need to make sure that your online presence is very clean and easy to navigate, and that you have an online booking link. Okay, so within the Lashpreneur method, I actually take my students through the step by steps to make sure their Instagram is looking pretty and on brand. We use those branding colors that we figure out. And we actually have a day where we talk about setting up an online booking link, where I make some recommendations on different platforms that I've used that are low to no cost. Okay, so make sure on your pages you have very clear service descriptions. This is super important so that the client understands what it is you're offering. Okay, so I see a lot of times when people are posting their menus, all it says is classic, $100, okay, or volume, $150. Write a little description as to what classic is, okay, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between classic and volume and whatnot, right? So make sure you have a little description saying one-to-one application that provides a very natural look for you, and $100 is a full set price. Okay, so being very clear is going to really enhance the client experience with you online. Make sure that your Instagram and your Google profile are very clear and professional looking. So you want to have in your bio exactly what it is you are. So Susie doing lashes in Vancouver, right? So you don't want to have a description in your bio that says, my name's Susie and I like puppies and I have this business, right? So you want to make sure it's very professional looking and very clear, both on Google and your Instagram. And setting up automated confirmations and reminders. This should come with your booking app or whatever you're going to use to be booking your clients in. Having automated confirmations and reminders is going to set you apart from other people maybe in your area offering the same services. Okay, so a lot of people don't remind their clients that they have a appointment coming up, right? So make every touch point feel organized, warm, and welcoming. Okay. Now your space should feel like a calm retreat. Okay, so I know this is maybe not possible for everybody, especially when you're just starting up, but being able to provide your client with a very comfortable space is really going to enhance their experience with you. Okay, so you're things like offering things like fresh linens, soft music, maybe light a candle or something and offer a blanket. These are things that are really going to enhance the client experience with you that really aren't going to cost you any extra money, right? So always have, like a blanket or something close by. And try and make sure everything has its place. Okay, it's really common for us lash artists to have a little lash, like a trolley to put all our stuff in. And that kind of just makes it easy to navigate, especially if you are doing this from home and you've got a very small space. So just having a very clutter-free setup is really going to make the client feel like you are professional and you know what you're doing. Your studio atmosphere is really going to shape how the clients feel about you and your brand. Oh, my head is in the way. Can I move? Let's see here. Can I move my face? I don't know. Let's see. Hello. There, that's better. Now you can't really read it, but that's okay. Okay, so have a warm, friendly client interactions every single time. Okay, even if you're having the worst day ever, just always just have a really pleasant face and greet your clients by name as soon as they walk in the door. Smile and make eye contact. These are really, really important when it comes to providing an excellent customer experience. Okay. You can offer to take their coat or their bag and ask them if they need anything. I usually say, do you need to use the bathroom? And explain the appointment process if they're new. So if they haven't had a lash experience before, there's a possibility that they're super nervous. Okay, because it is a service where your eyes are closed and they don't really know what's going to happen. So like for me, anytime a client comes in, especially if they're new, I will actually go through each step and explain to them exactly what I'm doing. I'll say, okay, I need you to open your eyes. I need to put an iPad down, and this is going to hold your bottom lashes down. And I kind of walk them through step by step as I'm doing it. Keep the conversation light and positive. Okay, professional and personable equals trust. Okay, so what I also like to do, that in the Lashpreneur method, we actually go over consultations, and I sit down and explain to my client exactly what we're going to be doing and why I chose a certain style. That's also part of the client experience as well. So offering those consultations at the beginning of the appointment is really important. So comfort during the service. The lash bed can really make or break the experience. Okay. So our lash beds are often not the most comfortable, especially if you're using a massage table that maybe is a budget version, like the $150 to $200 ones. They are often very hard to lay on, and a lash service lasts a very long time, especially at the beginning. It's going to be 3 hours, most likely. Okay. So things that you want to consider adding is like a memory foam topper, maybe a leg pillow or a bolster. Okay. A neck pillow, something underneath their neck to keep them kind of like not feeling fatigued while they're lying down is also a really good idea. Check in on their comfort level. Okay. So after you've been lashing for about half an hour, 45 minutes, just kind of check in with them. Maybe they didn't grab a blanket at the beginning and they could start to be feeling a little bit cold. Okay. So check in on their comfort level. Maybe they need to adjust something of their legs or their back or something, right? Ask about the temperature. Is the temperature warm enough for you? And then you do want to minimize talking during the application. Okay, so I know it's fun. You're excited, they're excited, and you kind of want to sit there and chit chat through the whole appointment. But for your client's sake, it's really good just to let them maybe initiate the conversation, because when you're lashing a client and they're being very verbal and expressive, their cheeks are going to be going up and down, and especially if you're laughing and giggling, right? And those iPads are going to be moving around with their face as they're doing these facial expressions, and it could break the seal of the waterline, and the fumes could go in, and then that can cause retention problems because now they're going to be watering. So really just try and minimize talking, and this will also help them relax. Okay, small comfort touches do make the biggest difference. So educating your clients. This is also something that's kind of really near and dear to my heart. If you're a client of mine, you know how I am kind of like obsessed with you washing your lashes all the time. So there's a reason why. There's a reason why I say things and I educate my clients over and over again. And it's because I care, right? So, and you know what? I think that my clients do appreciate this. Clients love to feel informed, right? So briefly explain the styles you chose. Okay. So like what I like to do, I actually get my client to send me a photo of their face so I can analyze their eyes and their face shape and decide if like a doll eye is going to look good, or if a cat eye, or if we're going to do an open eye, or maybe they have hooded eyes and I need to adjust the curl. So explain that. Okay. So that's going to make you sound like you know what you're doing, obviously. So yes, design and lash design is something that I actually go over in the first week of the Lashpreneur. So there is a whole lesson on that. We go over eye types and face shapes and when to use the different kinds of curls. Also, you're going to want to share how to care for their lashes. Okay, so aftercare is so important. It is key in maintaining a beautiful, fluffy lash set if you're doing volume, and it's really going to help them with retention. Give aftercare instructions verbally and also offer it in a printed form. Okay, so I have like pre-printed cards that I always stick in with their bath kit on their first appointment. And then also when they get their text reminders, I also have a little blurb in the email about before and after care. And how important it is for them to arrive to their appointment with clean, free, makeup-free eyes. And then let them know what to expect at their fill appointments. Okay, so the fill appointments is something that's going to kind of continue the revenue coming into your salon. It is required if they want to keep up with their maintenance, because obviously, like, our lashes don't stay, right? The lash cycle is a 4 to 6 week thing. So those clients are going to want to come in 2 to 3 weeks to get those new lashes that have grown in, filled in, and just explain the process and everything about fills, right? So education builds trust and better retention for them. Okay, so creating a signature touch. This is where your brand is going to shine. So you want to choose a small, memorable gesture. Okay, so think of things like maybe offering a warm towel for their hands after the service, like something that really stood out to me, back in the day when airlines actually cared about their client experience, their customer experience. I remember they would actually hand out these warm towels. And it always just made me feel like, even though I was a little girl, kind of like extra special, like they cared. And it was always the most refreshing thing. You can offer a lash cleanser sample. Okay, so there are these little mini foam pumper bottles that you can get. And if you don't already include the aftercare kits in the original cost of a full set, you can just offer some cleanser samples. And then maybe a cute aftercare bag. Okay, so these are just ideas. Okay, so you're going to just kind of take this and maybe think of something that is creative to apply your little personal signature touch. Okay, a handwritten thank you note also goes a long way. Okay, so, if you're going to do up a little aftercare kit, just say, write your name, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you supporting my business. A photo wall, those are always fun ideas. Maybe like you can get your clients to take a selfie and you can print it out and maybe like have a little photo wall. And then offering treats or mints. So I have a little candy dish right at my checkout and they can just kind of help themselves. Signature touch really does make your service feel premium. So when you are offering a really good client experience and all these like little things that people often kind of don't think about, especially if you're new at starting up a business, is kind of going to justify the higher prices. Okay. So professional boundaries and standards. This is something that doesn't have to be awkward when you need to set in place. So clients return to businesses that are dependable and consistent. Having your policies set in place and written down clear for them to understand before they even come in is something that's really important. Okay, so this is something that you can be putting on your Instagram in the where the little stories go up at the top there. Make sure you're starting your appointments on time. Okay, so we expect our clients to arrive at a certain time, and they're expecting their appointment to be starting at that time, right? So make sure you are allowing a proper amount of time in between those clients, because if someone arrives and you're still with a client, sometimes that kind of irks people. Okay, so that could prevent them from wanting to rebook with you. Keep your policies clear and enforced politely. Okay, so I usually have a welcome email to all of my clients that are new with me, where the policies are all written in. And then this just kind of like saves some time where I don't have to be explaining this to them, maybe the first time they are canceling last minute, right? Maintain clean tools and strong hygiene. This is so important. Okay. So I don't care where you're doing your lashes, just make sure like the floors are clean, your service bed is clean. Just wipe it down between clients. We kind of go over all this in the infection prevention and control training, which is included in the very first week. So that should kind of come naturally once you get that training. And never rush, even on busy days. Okay. So, like, the client is still paying the full price to have you. So, even if you've got a client and you've overbooked yourself, make sure you are still providing the proper time for that client. If you book them in for 90 minutes, make sure you are taking that full 90 minutes, because if you cut it short, they're going to kind of question if you did everything properly. And then if something does happen, then guess what? They're not going to be very satisfied with their experience with you, right? So you always want to keep a very professional tone in all of your conversations. Okay. I know, like, as you kind of get to know your clients, we do kind of turn clients into friends. And then maybe then we can kind of be a little bit more friendly and stuff. But professionalism is key, and it's going to build long-term trust with your clients. Okay. Um, ask for feedback. Feedback improves the client experience altogether. So things like, how did everything feel today? Is there anything I can adjust next time? Or is there anything I can do to make your visits even better? Right. So asking them for feedback is really going to make your client appreciate being heard. And then you also learn what it is that they value. Okay, so sometimes, like, we don't always get a chance to ask these questions face to face with them. So what I like to do is I'll follow up on a client usually after about 3 or 4 days, sometimes even a week, sometime before their next appointment, and just say, hey, like, how are you liking your lashes today? Is there anything that we can change? Or how is the lash bed? Is there anything that I can do to make your experience more comfortable? Right. So all these things are really going to enhance your client's experience with you. Following up after the appointments is very important. Okay. Just a small follow-up message does go a long way. Like I just said, right? So I always follow up with my clients a couple days later. You can actually just, like, at the end of your day, you can just say, message all those clients, thank you for coming today. Let me know if you have any questions. Did you get your aftercare kit or whatnot, right? Check in if they're new or tried a new style. So definitely, if they're brand new and they've never had a lash service, check in with them. Are you experiencing any itchiness or redness? Make sure that there's no signs of allergies, right? If you didn't offer a sample set. How's the length? If they wear glasses, sometimes they don't realize that their lashes are touching their glasses until you ask them. And then you can say, okay, well, we can switch things up a bit. And then make sure you send the reminders for fills. Okay. So if you don't have an automatic booking system that has this ability, then, you're going to have to just do this yourself and manually text people. And that's going to really enhance their experience and also save you the time from them not showing up to their appointments because they forgot. Okay. Follow up is not salesy. It shows genuine care. So don't hesitate. Okay. So these are really important. People really do value being followed up on. And consistency, again, there's that word. It's going to increase your client retention. Okay. A client returns when their experience is predictable, positive, professional, and personalized. Okay, consistency is key to building that loyal clientele who's going to stay with you for many, many years to come. Okay, so also in the Lashpreneur, at the end of each lesson, we do either homework or reflection. So this is kind of what it looks like. So since you just took this lesson with me, let's go over it. So reflection for this lesson would be think of things like what makes you feel cared for during a service experience. So put yourself in their shoes, okay? And think about how you would like to be cared for during a lash appointment, and include that with your own business, okay? Think about what signature touch you can add to your business. So we talked about this at the beginning, right? With those little candy boxes. So, do you want to maybe have that little jar of mints sitting at the checkout? Or are you going to include a free lash shampoo sample to your new clients? Okay. How will you upgrade your studio environment to make it more inviting? Okay, so when we get off the call here, you can go into your lashing room if you have that set up already. If you're just new and you don't have anything yet, that's fine. This is maybe a chance for you to kind of sit down and think about and envision what you want your lash salon to look like, your service area, okay? And how you can make it inviting to the clients that you are going to have come in. Ask yourself how you can improve on your communication before and after appointments. So are you already following up with them after their service? If not, then maybe this is a step that you can start adding. And then same with before. You can just shoot them a message if they're brand new. Just say, hey, I'm just checking in. Did you look at my location? Do you have any questions on finding your way here? Right? Sending those messages beforehand. Also really important if you are just doing online bookings, right? So if someone books online, you definitely want to connect with them prior to their arrival, okay? So because there could be things that come up. We don't want them to get lost. We want to prevent any sort of thing from going wrong that could go wrong. So yeah, and then one last thing you can think about is what small detail can you add that clients are going to remember you for? Okay, so just some things that you can think about when it comes to the client experience. And yeah, that is it. Okay, so I do want to just remind you that the Lashpreneur method is kicking off on February 4th. It is a 4-week lash certification and mentorship program. So I'm going to take you from not knowing how to do lashes to being certified, to branding your business and coming up with a name and getting it registered with the CRA. And then week 4, we're going to get you booked and busy. So I'm going to help you find those first few clients that are probably going to be your forever clients. Right. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can post them in the comments here. I will see them. I will be checking back. I also posted a link for the Lashpreneur method in the description of this video. So if this is something that you think you might be interested in, I think I said at the beginning, there's 4 more spots left for my founding members that are going to receive 50% off. So yeah, I really hope to see you there. Bye for now.